Hi, this is the Afterlife Discussion. I'm coming to respond to two subscribers. One subscriber wanted to know my opinion on two YouTube channels that somewhat talks about similar topics as this channel talks about. And then another subscriber had a question. And then you want to check back to this channel sometime later today, because I will be uploading videos to this channel later today that are about the topics of the prison planet theory and its relating factors, and the reincarnation trick and its relating factors. So the first subscriber wanted to know my opinion about channels like Infinite Waters and the channel Fluorbrun, if I'm pronouncing that name right. If I'm not, my apologies. And the subscriber said, I see that both channels are monetized. They offer inspirational vlogs and provide a service in this capacity. So is it not then justified to charge via ads and having members area as well? Well, as I have stated time and time again, and I am not changing from this mindset, any information regarding the reincarnation trick and the prison planet theory should not come at a cost. Now, if you want to do inspirational vlogs, fine. If you want to do an inspirational vlog where you're charging for that, that's fine. Because, again, it is not a necessity for you to get the information within an inspirational vlog. But it is a necessity for you to get the information about the reincarnation trick and the prison planet theory. That is life or death information. That is an absolute necessity. That should be free. Just like Medicare in America should be free. You shouldn't have to pay for Medicare, something that you need to survive. It should be free. So, and the reason why it should be free, because, again, you need medical services, whether it be every now and then or every single day. You need those services to survive. That's crucial. That's life or death crucial. So it should be free. You shouldn't have to pay, because there are people who can't pay for medical services and they end up dying. So the same way with the reincarnation trick and the prison planet theory, that is life or death crucial information. No one should be charging anything where they are making an active profit off of that information. No, I don't know. Because you have a lot of people who can't pay. And if they can't pay, that means they are not getting that life or death crucial information. Now, before someone says, well, you charged for your book, The Summerland. Yes, I did. But I have not received a dime. So every time you buy my book, that money's going straight to Amazon. Because, once again, when I put that book for sale, I wanted to make it $0.00. But Amazon said the lowest you can go is, I think it was $10. So I said, okay, fine. But because I set it so low, whenever someone buys the Summerland, I don't get anything from it, because that whole entire price that they're paying goes straight to Amazon. So I'm not making a profit. And I'm glad about it, because I don't want to make a profit. And then there are people who have said, well, I can't even pay $10. Can I get it for free? Sure you can. With these people who are paying for information about the reincarnation trick and the prison planet theory, I am telling you, I would bet $5 million you cannot get that information from them for free if you can't pay. They're not going to do it. This is what I have a problem with, and I am not going to regress from that. So, but if you have someone who has a YouTube channel and all they're doing is giving inspirational information or new age information that's not about the reincarnation trick or the prison planet theory or spirituality information, well, yeah, they can charge for that, because, again, that's not crucial. That's not crucial information. You don't need that information to survive, but you do need the information about the reincarnation trick. You do need that information about the prison planet theory, because if you don't have that information and you cross over, you are going to enter into a permanent, horrible situation that you're not going to get out of. This is why it's so crucial. So, Infinite Waters and Fluorbrun, if that's how it's pronounced, them charging for, via ads, and them having a members area on their channel for their inspirational vlogs. Well, that's good and fine, because they're not giving the crucial life or death information, because I've seen both channels. It is nothing on their channels that would make me say, oh my universe, this is information that I need that's really going to help me when it comes time to escape the reincarnation trick, or when it comes time for me to know more about this prison planet. So all they're really talking is about is inspirational things. So if they want to charge for that, that's fine. But when it comes to anything about the reincarnation trick, escaping it after death, the prison planet theory, no. Anyone who's charging for it, I don't respect them at all. Not at all. Especially if they're charging for it, and if people who can't afford it come to them and say, look, I can't afford to pay for it. Can I get it for free? No, I don't respect those people. No, hell no. But Infinite Waters, I used to listen to him a long time ago. His name is Ralph Smart. I listened to him for some years. That guy is a scam. He can say all of the inspirational feel-good junk that he wants. This guy has charged for services, not delivered the services, and has taken people's money. A couple of years back, there were numerous people stating how he was having young men, come to where he was. I think he was in London at the time, or wherever he was, come to where he was, and he was having these young men stay with him in this cult-like atmosphere. And this was not just one person saying this, or one report coming out about this. This was several reports. So, Infinite Waters, aka Ralph Smart, he says things that people want to hear, but this guy is a scammer. Several upon several people have said, yeah, he has stole money out of my account. He has taken my money here and there, and I have ordered services from him, and when I've ordered the services, I didn't get the services, and my money is gone, and this guy is a scammer. And then the times when I was listening to him, I would notice that he would contradict himself a lot. He would say one thing in one video and then turn around and make another video saying something that was completely contradictory to what he had previously said. So, yeah, you may feel, and I'm not saying you, subscriber, and personally, I'm just saying you in general. A person may listen to Infinite Waters, aka Ralph Smart, and feel, oh, I feel so much better watching his videos. Well, that's kind of the equivalent of you meeting a man, and a man just, if you're a female, and you meet a man, and the man just tells you all the things that you want to hear. Baby, I love you. We're going to get married one day, and you're the only woman for me. And all the while, he's stealing your money out of your account. Well, even though he stole money out of my account, but he made me feel good, but still, he's still a scammer. So, who cares how he made you feel? Look at what he has done. And not only to you, but to other people. Well, that's the same way with Ralph Smart. Ralph Smart, yes, you may watch his videos and, oh, he makes me feel so much better, inspired. Yes, but while he's doing that, he's also taking people's money. He's also contradicting himself several times in his videos. And a lot of the things he says spirituality-wise is not even true. It's not even true. And so, in my opinion, no, no. I used to listen to him, and after I found out, and they used to have a plethora of videos on YouTube about how scammy this guy was. I don't know what happened to those videos. I don't know if YouTube took them off, but there used to be some videos on there about how Ralph Smart was a Class A scam artist, and he was bordering on the line of being like a cult leader. because he was inviting young men to where he was to live in a cult-like environment. So Ralph Smart, no. Infinite Waters, no. This Fleur Brun YouTuber, it doesn't talk about spirituality. I just got finished doing a double check. It's more about topics that are all over the place. Some of the topics are conspiracy related. Some of the topics are spirituality related. With Fleur Brun, I wouldn't say so much that she is a, she has a channel that talks about the reincarnation trick or the prison planet theory, because I didn't really see any videos about that at all. And I didn't really see any inspirational videos on her channel. It was more of videos of kind of like conspiracy based. So with her channel, if she wants to, have a members only section for that and have her channel monetized for that, well, that's fine, because again, what she is telling on her channel is nothing crucial that people need to know. It's not life and death information. So just like any other channel that comes on and they just do topics on a variety of things, if they want to charge money for that via the members only section, or if they want to be monetized, that's fine. But when you start trickling into the reincarnation trick theory and prison planet theory information, no, you should not be charging money for it or what have you. You shouldn't have a members only section for that, where you are asking people for money. But with this Fleur Brun channel, that is not what I see her doing. Her channel is not about the reincarnation trick or the prison planet theory, and really I don't see anything inspirational on the channel at all. But if she wants to be monetized, I see nothing wrong with it, because none of her videos have any information that is crucial for people to know about. So I see nothing wrong with her channel. I mean, if you like that sort of content, hey, have at it. But with Infinite Waters, I would encourage everyone to stay away from him. But Fleur Brun, I see nothing wrong with her channel. And I want to say this too. There are times when I watch inspirational videos. When I need to feel inspired, I'll turn on a video that inspires me and that makes me feel good. So there's nothing wrong with watching inspirational YouTubers. The only thing I say is don't get scammed, because you got a lot of these YouTubers on here bringing forth inspirational videos and they are scamming people. Don't get scammed. Know who you're listening to, and make sure that you're listening to people who are giving correct inspiration, not false inspiration, filling your head with lies. Because I'm telling you, the law of attraction does not work down here. I don't know why people think this stupid crap. You can think positive thoughts all you want to. You are not going to get a 2025 BMW if you don't have the money to buy it. Okay? You're not going to get that 5-bedroom house if you don't have the money. Law of attraction does not work down here because of the fact that this is a prison planet. That's like going to hell. If the hell in the Bible, if it existed, that's like going to hell and using the law of attraction to get out of there. It's not going to work. So anybody teaching, all you have to do is use the law of attraction, they are lying to you. They're just trying to get your money. The law of attraction does not work down here. Doesn't. So, if that was the case, there would be no homeless people, because then the only thing the homeless people would have to do is just use the law of attraction. They could get off the streets. So this is why I say you have to make sure that you're listening to correct inspiration and not false inspiration, because you got a lot of people saying, you can do this. All you have to do is do the grind. You got to work hard. There's one inspirational guy on YouTube, and he says, you forget sleep. You got to forgo sleep. You got to work day and night. You got to work around the clock, because this is how you get your dreams made. You got to be out your damn mind. No, you want me to go back to slavery? Because that's what slaves did. Worked night and day. No, I'm not doing that. And they're not doing that. They didn't do that to get where they are. But they want you to do that, because if you do that, you are contributing to the prison planet enslavement of working like a slave around the clock. No. I'm not doing that. Forgetting going to sleep and just working day and night. You'll be burned out within a month, if not before then. Well, yeah, it would be about a month. So But you have a lot of inspirational people who tell you that, you got to work hard, you got to grind and all of this stupid. And they didn't do it them damn selves. They didn't do it themselves, but they're telling you to do it. So you have to make sure that you're listening to correct inspiration and not incorrect inspiration, because everyone who makes inspirational videos are not always genuine. They're not always legitimate. You have to really guard what you're listening to. But with this Fleur Brun, I don't see anything, so far when I watched her videos, I didn't see anything wrong with, her videos. Just a lot of inspiration, a lot of, boosting people's self-esteem, which is good. But Infinite Waters, no. Ralph Smart is a scam. And I want to say this too. They had another supposedly inspirational YouTuber that used to be out. His name was trying to think of his name. Nature Boy. That's his name. Elijah Bishop. And he used to come and he used to talk about the reincarnation trap as they call it too. The prison planet theory. And he started out giving really good videos about inspiration. Yeah, you got to know your higher self. You got to be one with the universe. And kind of found out this guy was a cult leader. He was a cult leader. He was a pedophile. He was a rapist. He was a woman beater. He was a man beater. And now this guy is serving life without parole. But he had so many people suckered in. Oh my God. Nature Boy teaches us that we have to be our higher self. And this guy was nothing but a cult leader. This is why I say you have to be careful about who you listen to. Because everyone who makes inspirational videos, everyone who talks about the universe is not someone that is genuine. You got a lot of people out here scamming. You got a lot of people out here trying to start cults who are looking to be cult leaders. And you have a lot of people out here trying to make money. Anyone who tells you, get away from everybody, get away from your family, your friends, you got to isolate yourself. Matter of fact, I got a compound. I want you to come live on my compound. We can do this together. Anybody telling you like that, that's a cult. You need to run from it. That's Jim Jones type of behavior. Because you don't have to go and live with some YouTuber to try to be one with the universe. You don't have to separate yourself from family and friends to be one with the universe. That's Jim Jones behavior. That's David Koresh behavior. So you really have to be guarded with what you listen to, because if you don't, you can be led down the wrong path. One last thing before I get to the next subscriber. Another one who was like that was a guy named Rashad Jamal. Rashad Jamal, he talked a good talk too about the reincarnation trick and the prison planet theory, but yet and still he was a cult leader. And as a matter of fact, he had several women. They went off and did something. I think it was about a year or two ago. They did something criminal. And the police were looking for them. I don't know if the police ever found them. But their family members were worried about them because the family members said they had changed after they got in contact with Rashad Jamal. And they were acting cultish-like. And one father on TikTok even talked about how Rashad Jamal had totally brainwashed his daughter. But Rashad Jamal was one who was talking about the reincarnation trick, the prison planet theory. This is why I say you have to be careful, because if you don't, you will end up being looped into some kind of cultish-like behavior, or you'll be scammed, or you'll be misled. The talk about the reincarnation trick, the talk about the prison planet theory, these are not cult-like topics. These are just topics that will help you so that when you do finish this life, you don't come back to the same hellhole again. That's all it is. But if you have people telling you to come where they are because they have a compound, they want you to live with them in a compound because they'll help you to prepare for the reincarnation trick, or they want you to buy their special miracle water, or their special power of attraction water, or their products that are going to help you to learn more about the reincarnation trick, you're being scammed. You're being misled. You're being led into a cult. So you have to know this. And again, anyone who tells you, get away from it, isolate yourself from your family and your friends, they're your enemy. Anyone who doesn't want to, believe what I'm telling you to believe, they're your enemy. Get away from them. Those are people who If they can isolate you, then they can further brainwash you. This is what Jim Jones did. He got all of his church members away from their family and friends and took them all the way to Guyana so he could further brainwash them. David Koresh did the same thing. That ridiculous moon cult, Heaven's Gate, they did the same thing. You do not need to separate yourself from family and friends to know the truth about the fact that this is a prison planet and the fact that there is a reincarnation trick. Because I still hang out with family and friends. I still go to the movies. I still go roller skating, even though I suck at roller skating. I still live a regular life. But I know that when I leave here, this is my last time here. That's it. That's all. So you really have to be careful, because it's easy to get suckered into these people who have the wrong intentions. Again, if you want to pay for information about the reincarnation trick and prison planet theory, have at it. But I'm telling you, you're a sucker if you do so, because you don't have to pay for any of this. This information should be free. There is no service that you have to buy that's going to help you in terms of the reincarnation trick, prison planet theory. If you want to know how to astral project, learn it yourself for free. You don't have to go and pay for a service where someone's teaching you how to astral project. Now, you may have to pay if you want to learn about your past lives, because that requires you going to a past life regressionist who is basically a therapist. And she has the tools to be able to put you under so that you can learn about your past lives. So that's reputable. But now going to someone and paying someone to clean your chakras, no, you can do that for free. You can do that for free. Going to someone and paying someone to help you to know how to lucid dream, you can do that for free. So that's what I'm saying. You have to really be careful, because you have a lot of scammers, a lot of liars, and a lot of crazy people out here who are looking to be the next Jim Jones, the next David Koresh. So that's what I want to say on that. Now, the question I received from another subscriber was, what are our strengths and weaknesses when it comes to our abilities? How powerful are we? Well, I'll say this. Our abilities don't work here in this prison planet. It doesn't. And if you happen to get them to work, it's going to take a hell of a lot of time. The reason why, because this prison planet is structured, whereas it is very hard to bring forth the ability of telekinesis. Starting fires with your eyes and with your hands, levitation. It's extremely hard to bring them forth here in this prison planet. It takes weeks, if not months, if not years. Whereas when you cross over into the afterlife, it is immediate. And not only do you have those abilities in the afterlife, you have a plethora of other abilities. Now, I don't know every ability that we all have. I don't know, because I have never really, I have astral projected, I say, a total of 15 times. And so, when I have done it, I haven't tested out every single ability. So I don't know every single ability that we have on the other side, but I do know a few. I know that we can levitate. I know we can teleport. We can shapeshift. We have fire that can come out of the eyes and the hands. Clairvoyance. I know we have those abilities. We have the ability of telepathy. And so we have, from what I've heard, there are so many other abilities. From what I have also heard, the same abilities that the Greys have, the alien Greys have, those same abilities we have. So I would think if you look up what abilities alien Greys have, or all the abilities alien Greys have, those abilities we have. I've heard the abilities that the Anunnaki have, we have. The abilities the reptilians have, we have. Because from what I have researched, we are hybrids. We're not just humans, we're hybrids. We're human hybrids. So that makes us have those same abilities as Enki and Marduk. This is why Enki and Marduk and the Anunnaki, they don't want us to know that we have those abilities, because if we come into the if we come into the knowledge that we have those abilities, then we can use the same abilities that they have. We can use those abilities against them and really do damage to them. So they don't want us to know that we have those abilities. They want us to think, oh, you're human. That's all you are. You're immortal. You are a mortal, not immortal. You are a mortal person. You are a human. That's all you are. They don't want us to know who we really are. I also know we have the ability to manifest. But again, it's not going to happen down here, because I'm telling you, you are not. I would love to manifest the realm that I plan to create up there. It's not going to happen down here. Because I've tried to think up the same realm that I want to live in the KHAA. I've tried to manifest it through thought intention down here. And I mean, I've tried for some hours and for some days, and it doesn't, because there are so many strict limitations down here. But once you cross over, whatever you think up, immediately it is going to manifest. And that is because we are creator gods. We have the ability to create. And that creation ability also goes hand in hand with thought intention. Our thoughts, we have the ability to think something up in the afterlife and immediately have it to manifest. This is why I say, when you get to the KHAA, you can think up your own realm. And I'm telling you, when I say your own realm, I am not just talking about a small realm. I'm talking about a realm with numerous worlds. With numerous worlds, numerous buildings, numerous people, fictional and real people. Because I recently found out you can think up, if one person said they wanted to think up having the fictional characters from Game of Thrones. You can have that happen. Again, whatever you think up. So that's another ability that we have. Our weakness is lack of gnosis. That's our weakness. That's one of our weaknesses. Lack of gnosis. Because the gnosis is knowing that we have these abilities, knowing that once we leave this realm, we can be able to escape and go to the realm where we can use these abilities in full form. Knowing that we are creator gods and all of that. If you don't have that gnosis, you are powerless, which means you are able to be destroyed, annihilated, and everything else. So that's one of our weaknesses. Our other weakness is fear. Fear is one of our other weaknesses, because fear is the biggest proponent when it comes to Enki and Marduk. It's like, if you've seen the show Smallville, there was a lot of things that could hurt Clark Kent. A lot of things that could hurt him. But the biggest thing that could really hurt him, the biggest thing was kryptonite. And all of his enemies, once they found out, hey, Clark, his weakness is kryptonite, they would use it against him. And when they used it against him, that would hurt him more than anything else that could and would hurt him. That's how it is with us. Our kryptonite is fear. Gnosis is a big weakness of ours too, but fear is a bigger one, because if you cross over with fear, you can have all the gnosis you want, but if you cross over with fear, you're not going anywhere. You see, you can have all the gnosis you want, but if Enki appears in front of you and you are afraid, that gnosis doesn't mean a thing, because if Enki were to appear in front of you and you are afraid right at that moment that he appears in front of you, oh, he can sit there and wipe the floor with you, physically, mentally, spiritually, and otherwise. So that's one of the biggest weaknesses that we have, and that is a weakness that we can overcome, is fear. Other than that, that's it. That's only two weaknesses that we have. I'm not going to say physical death, because physical death is not a weakness. That's a strength. To physically leave these bodies and to cross over, that is a strength, because we weren't meant to be in these bodies in the first place. So, but now on earth, our weaknesses are, while we're in these bodies, disease, sickness, illness, the fact that we can, if we are not careful, we can go across the street and get hit by a car or get injured some way. The body can get injured, which would hurt because if your body is physically injured, even though it's not happening to your ISB, but you're going to feel it in your ISB and your body. So that's the weakness on earth. But when it comes to spiritual weaknesses of the ISB, it would be fear and lack of gnosis. Those are the two biggest fears. Those are the two biggest weaknesses that the ISB, the spiritual ISB inside of the body has. But there are infinite numbers. There's an infinite number of abilities that we have. I don't know them all because I haven't crossed over into the afterlife via physical death to know them all. But I would think that once you cross over, and if you're being attacked, hell, you can think of fire spewing out of your mouth, and that probably would actually happen. Because again, whatever you think up is going to manifest. If you were to think up 12 white bunnies running in front of you in the afterlife, it's going to happen. So I think that with us having the ability to manifest anything via thought intention, that makes our number of abilities that we have infinite. We have an infinite number of abilities that we wanted to cross over. If we cross over into the afterlife and we were being attacked and we wanted to shapeshift into a tiger, again, I showed it in the Summerland because, again, whatever you think up is going to automatically manifest. I have heard some people say that when they cross over into the afterlife and they escape the reincarnation trick, they are going to go to Pleroma and manifest themselves into a mountain and they're going to just rest. And I'm like, and I've heard people say, yeah, you can do that. So the number of abilities we have is infinite because of the fact that we have thought intention. We are so much more powerful than what we think. This is why Enki and Marduk, people think, oh, Enki and Marduk, they're just, they're gods, but they're not all that. There's nothing to them. Oh, yes, there is something to them. They are extremely powerful. And so are we. So you have to know this. When it comes to us being ISBs, we are not just, oh, they're just souls, And it shows when you hear stories about poltergeists. Poltergeists are evil souls who have crossed over. Look how much power that they have. All you have to do is go back and research the story of the Amityville Amityville Horror, the Amityville Horror House. Research what those poltergeist ISBs did there. They had blood coming down the walls and the husband turned against that was the power that the souls who had crossed over, who were evil, that was the power that they had to do all of those things to that family and to that house. And so, that lets you know the souls, the ISBs that cross over into the afterlife, they are powerful. We are powerful. When we cross over into the afterlife, there is no limit to what we can do. No limit. And again, I do want to, well, not again, but I do want to go back and say, with the Amityville Horror House, what was happening there was a mixture of demons and evil ISBs who had crossed over, who had decided, well, we're gonna fuck with these people in this house here. And, it started with Ronald DeFeo and his family, and it led on to because what happened to that, Kathy Lutz, bad for names, with the Lutz family, George and Kathy Lutz, that was real. I don't give a damn what George or Kathy's stepson said. That was real. I believe Ed and Lorraine Warren. Even though people say Ed and Lorraine Warren, they lie. No, that was real. That was real. And not only them, but many other people who have had paranormal poltergeist experiences in their homes or in their business buildings and all of that. It's a mixture of demons, aka archons, and evil Isbys who have crossed over, who have decided to do the work of evil. And combined, that makes them powerful. They are able to do horrible things to the place that they are haunting, that they are, possessing. They're able to do evil things to the people in the place that they are possessing, that they are haunting. And so that's how poltergeists are. And so they have extreme power. I mean, they can do things that I want to mention this, and I'm going to be finished for this video. I saw, it used to be a TV show used to come on. I don't know if it comes on anymore. It used to be called A Haunting. And this husband and wife and his kids, they lived in this house. And there were these poltergeists that was haunting the house and attacking the family. And it started off with mild attacks, then it grew severe, severe, severe. To the point where at the end of the episode, one of the poltergeists, or the poltergeists combined, because I think it was more than one poltergeist entity there, they took the husband's life, caused him to have a massive heart attack in the bathroom, and he died. And you would think, oh my God, I can't believe that something on the other side or someone on the other side could do that. But they can. That's the power that Isbys have, good and bad. They can cause things to happen to people on this side of the spectrum, the prison planet world, and they can cause things to happen in the afterlife. If I had poltergeist entities in my home and they were really getting evil day by day, week by week, month by month, if they wanted to, they could cause me to have a massive heart attack and kill me, or cause something to happen where I have an injury in my home, or I suffer something to happen in my home that kills me. That's the power they have. So I say all that to say, Isbys, good and bad, when they cross over, the powers that they have are infinite. It is unlimited. The abilities they have is infinite. It's unlimited. But the weaknesses that Isbys have is, especially when crossing over, specifically when crossing over rather, is lack of gnosis and fear. Those two weaknesses can cause an Isby to come back here. And again, when you come back here, excuse my language, you're fucked. Or it can cause an Isby to be able to escape if they have overcome those weaknesses. So that's what I want to say to that subscriber. Those, that's how powerful, that's how powerful we all are. But you would not know that living on this prison planet, because the abilities we have in the afterlife, again, if you have been able to utilize those abilities while here on this prison planet, you are so lucky, because it is so difficult to utilize those abilities here because there's so many things restricting us. But in the afterlife, it's immediate. And so, yes, the same abilities the Anunnaki has, we have. The same abilities reptilians and the alien greys have, we have those same abilities. And I'm telling you, if you don't believe it, wait till you cross over to the afterlife. You will be amazed at the things that you can do, the things you can think of, the things you can transform into. So that's what I wanted to say. Stay tuned to the channel later on today. I will be bringing more videos about the reincarnation trick and prison planet theory. It just won't be with me talking. but it'll be some visual videos and some videos from other people talking. So come back to the channel later to check those out. So with that being said, be safe, and I will see you all next Friday. This is the Afterlife Discussion. Until next time.